We're here. The transition was smooth. It was quick. It wasn't too quick, but we're here. Welcome, everybody, to Wired and Wednesday. It is Wednesday, so you're here with me and my friend Shaina today on the Twitch, on the interwebs. For those of you who are new, or for those of you who are reoccurring and constantly trying to win those headphones, motherfucker, it's Wednesday. So that means we're giving away a pair of Astro A10 headphones. You just got to be a sub to the channel. If you got Amazon Prime, that's a free sub. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, enter !raffle into the chat, and you will be entered into the raffle to win these saucy ass little headphones. Compliments of Astro. Shout outs Astro. Shout outs Blue Microphones for cooking your boy up with some shit. But we're here. We're live. We're gonna be talking about music stuff. Shaina, how the hell are you?
I'm doing so good today.
Yeah.
Good. The sun is shining. I've had a few little whiskeys already.
Yee!
It's like 4:15, so
it's 5:17. It is fine for you to have a few whiskeys in you. If you have a whiskey every 2 minutes, you're still in the green to me. That's fine.
Yeah, 100%. A cat this whole time. Okay, so I've been setting up for that. I locked all cats, all distractions in the back. But it never fails, and everyone who has a cat knows this. As soon as you get onto that important meeting or you're going live, motherfucker's jumping out of the side.
Yeah,
ghosting the screen and gone. Yeah. Maybe you might have a that would do something like that. I don't know.
I have a child that he can pull all the cords out of things now and pull things down on him, which is super fun. That's been the new game of this week, is him finding out what he could kill himself with in the house, and me just going all day long. Yeah,
I think that's the number one reason that I don't have children, because I can barely keep myself from accidentally dying.
Keeping myself alive is hard enough.
Yeah, and so I just, doing that 24 hours a day for another human it sounds like a challenge.
Man, it is. I will tell you, it is. I will adjust to it, but considering this is the first week, like, he is crawling. Last week he was like, he was crawling, but he didn't move one leg while he was doing it, so he just had this he was just dragging one leg when he was doing it, so it's super weird. Kind of hard, kind of pimped out crawl that he had there. Was hoping he would keep it, but both legs work. Now he is just scooting across the floor and fucking shit up. And I had spoken with Melly. She was talking about her kids, and she was saying that she came up with this business idea where she'd go to all these rich moms in Columbia City and shit that are about to have a baby, and she could help you childproof your fucking box condo that you bought for fucking $1.5 million by just bringing her kid over and just letting him loose in the rooms, and he'll just find any and everything that he can kill himself on. He'll just fuck your house up for an hour. And
will it take an hour though? I don't even know, because I think that
if you want to be thorough,
12 minutes. Yeah. If you want to go every room and your child is crawling still, you're going to need an hour.
Dude, they don't even go for shit that won't kill them. like they got a honing device for oh shit, you know what I should do? I should totally throw up into that electrical socket. That'd be a perfect idea for me right now. I'm just going to go ahead and skirt over there. I wonder what it is.
Throwing up in there because when you weren't looking, crawled over to the dog bowl and ate some dog food, and you're like, what?
How did you know? Because I have been battling that all day long. First thing this morning, he's pulling on this, he's pulling on that, and I'm like, ugh, and I put him over here to fix the mess that he made over there, and I turn around and he just pulled the dog bowl over on himself and completely saturated himself and was just mushing the dog food into it. And I was like, fuck!
That is, I feel like that's the child's signature move there.
God. And my dog is super short, so I can't have the food like elevated.
Your dog is the same size as your child. And so when your child is crawling around, like you'd be into it. Your face is right there. It's perfectly set for you.
If there's any parents out there, I could use some pointers on this shit.
Yeah, like how do you put like our shock collars chill for kids too?
If you put it on their ankle, I don't see the problem, honestly.
I mean, will it really harm them forever, or will they just never get a dog because they'll be like, for some reason I have this fear of dog food.
Sensation when I think of dogs.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Deep voice yelling no at me.
Yeah.
Wu-Sang, you totally can win headphones.
Yeah, Wu-Sang, last week I was gifted a subscription by one of your fans.
Oh, shit.
I was so grateful. I can't remember who it was. I should have figured that out before I said this so that I could give them due credit, but that's so tight.
Well, whoever it was, thanks, dog.
Yeah. If they're on, like, thank you. Now I can watch every week. That was very nice.
So now your man's got Amazon Prime, or is he that fucking stingy?
Do you think that he doesn't just use my Amazon Prime?
Dude, Wu-Sang, you could have totally been a rapper, man. Shit.
It's like, that's part of the reason that we have stayed in our relationship for 10 years is that...
He's got all my passwords.
I got most of the logins. Like, he's got HBO, Max, but for the most part, I'm like, you need that Prime? And I'll just keep changing my password. He has to play.
Baby, I need to get some more cat food. That's my Josh impression. Super good, by the way. It's a really good one.
Josh is hanging out with his dad in Wyoming right now.
You're in Wyoming right now?
He's full-blown in Wyoming.
Dude.
So I got the house to myself, except for that cat you saw, like, running through the screen earlier. It's been, love you, Josh, by the way. We have a great time. I get so sad when you're gone, but really, like,
there's just a different energy in the house when you're gone. It's like a positive energy.
I'm just walking around going, oh my God, it's so quiet in here. But then on the other side, I'm eating like a can of green beans for dinner because I can't actually take care of myself very well. So
damn, somebody roll up and feed Shaina. If you live in the 206, roll up and feed Shaina.
On the ground floor, snacks can be passed directly through the window. No need for contact.
It's why we live on the ground floor.
Yeah. I call that Uber Eats or whatever you're calling for your meal service delivery. Just be like, hit the corner window, give it a knock.
Really? Is that how you do it?
Right in my... No, that's not
how. Come to the window with the disco ball in it.
I considered it after long weeks of events when your body is just broken down and you don't know how to... like I could see you maybe wanting to do that after you get back from a long tour.
Oh, I don't leave the house when I get back from tour.
Where you're just like, I can't leave the house.
For a week.
I can't talk to anybody. I can't look even at, you can barely watch like Forensic Files at that point. So I considered it on those days. But then I would feel like too much of a dick. You never want to have your delivery person feel like they have to go that above and beyond to help you.
Are personal chefs really that unaffordable?
That's a fantastic question.
Does anybody know like the going rate? And I don't mean like live at your fucking house, like you wake up every morning and you're like, good morning, Belvedere, whatever your fucking chef's name is. Because you do get to name your chef. I'm pretty sure that's part of it. It's included in the price that you get to name your chef. But
if your chef's name is Belvedere, you're fucked anyway.
I want a Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
I want a Gilgamesh chef. Gilgamesh the chef. Name sells itself. But think about it. Like, you had a hard-ass week, and maybe this is the new, like, roses, right? The average hourly salary for personal chef in LA is $27 an hour. That's not bad. If I'm, like, wanting something crazy, let's say it's, like, 4 hours, right? To prep, cook, and serve, and then get the fuck out of my house. $27 an hour is not that bad, especially if you're, like, on some, like, you know what, boo-boo? We've had a really long week. For the weekend, I'm just going to get us a personal chef. We never got to get out of our sweatpants. We don't have to leave the house. We're going to watch all 10 seasons or 10,000 seasons of Frasier or whatever the fuck. And we're posted up. And fucking Chef Homie's got us. And you could do like 4 hours in the morning. That includes lunch. So it's like you got a little breakfast and then make me a salad, throw that shit in the fridge, and then come back, do dinner. 6 hours a day, personal chef. What's the math on that, Colin, for a weekend? Plus taxes, plus a tip. I'm assuming you got to tip them.
You got to tip them, and you got to get the food, and you got to pay for their shopping time. You got to pay for their professional cutlery they're using, maybe.
I'm going to cut some costs and do the shopping myself. I'm going to bring it here. I'm not asking him what he wants. I'm just going to provide. Here's a box of Velveeta and some pork chops. Make some magic, my G. All right? $27 an hour.
You have 4 hours to prepare these pork chops and this box of Velveeta.
Yeah.
Go in. Yeah, you know, I don't think that's a bad idea. And I actually know people who are in the event industry who have hired folks to help them prep. They would come in and do like a week dinners, because by the time you're done. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I ate a can of green beans last night. So obviously I'm not picky, right? I can survive.
Man. I feel like I need to like hop in the car and just like bring you a salad with some cheeseburgers on it.
I mean, if I showed you my fridge right now, you wouldn't feel that way, because there are any number of things I could have prepared for myself. Instead of taking the time to take any of the thousands of produce items I have or freezer, everything. I mean, I could have made a 4-course meal last night, but instead I gotta pop the top on some beans.
That cut into my forensic files time, so I just church keyed open these beans and actually just drank the liquid out of them.
Roasted them over a fire with an open flame, just licking the sides of the can, and then but you know what? When your significant other, when you've been around them for a year, and they're watching you every day, judging you secretly. No, they do. Then they leave town. You can just go full hobo status. You don't even have to worry.
I live free from your judgments.
And no one there except for your cats that are looking at you going,
I always knew it, Shaina.
No problem. Yeah.
Do you have crab in the fridge? Alistair 13666 asks.
Oh, wow. I'm guessing that person is asking about
crabbing. You're always catching. I'm always seeing you catching crabs, and not in the fucking. Someone's gonna make a joke, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say ha ha to that.
Yeah. Crabbing season is from around July to September. Then maybe they reopen in the winter. But I got to tell you that it's not like I'm going to catch a Dungeness crab and go, Oh yeah, no, that's cool. I'll just put this in the freezer for a year. No fucking way. They're so delicious, and
Yeah,
yeah, you eat those right away. You're not,
I heard. Now,
kind of party.
call me superstitious, but I heard you never have had crab truly until you have cooked it in the water that you caught it in.
Yeah, I would agree with that. No, but not everybody has the luxury to do that. So
Well, then
I
they
get
should eat a steak.
you get in where you fit in. You know what I mean? Like you got to go for it, and it's not bad frozen. But yeah, if you can catch it. And last year with COVID, we just decided, man, what's a hobby that a gal
So
just
you
a
got
casual.
into it last year?
Yeah, I mean, my family had been crabbing throughout my life. Just I never really went out on my own. And so I have a homie, Gwen, who is always down. If I say, I'm like, let's fucking learn how to make biofuel, she would be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's fucking do it.
Shit,
She's always
I got
down.
the Volkswagen. Let's go.
Yeah. So, we just, we decided that was going to be our thing. And it was perfect for COVID because all the fucking beaches are shut down. All the entertainment is shut down. We don't have hangovers because we can't go to the bars, we had
that wasn't stopping me.
yeah. This few months were rough for everyone. But yeah, now we bought stand-up paddle boards and we use those to crab. So we didn't need to get a boat. And we actually started a Crabble boarding club.
I'm seeing this Crabble board club in the chat.
Someone's like,
somebody knows.
Somebody knows.
So that's something I've been wanting to get into, and fishing is definitely something that I feel like would suit me in my older age. I live right on the fucking water. I don't fish.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could get a boat for pretty reasonable price. Like, like an aluminum joint, like nothing crazy. Like I don't need a fucking crazy deep sea fishing boat because we live on the Sound, so we don't really need that. And Yanchi lives out there on Hood Canal, and he is literally on the water. His house is over the water. Like in the summer when the tide is high, you can fish off his porch.
That makes me so jealous.
Well, come on out.
Yeah.
Come on out.
We pretty much just would load our inflatable paddleboards in the car. We were out crabbing in December. The last day we went this year was December 23rd, and it was fucking cold.
Where do you go?
You can go. It just depends on what areas are open. Hey, if anybody wants to know, we'll have it on the Crabble Boarding Club website eventually. But
wait, you started a website?
Yeah, we're gonna have a website, and we
shit. First of all, I had no idea we were gonna be talking about fucking seafood this much, but I'm glad that we are, because now people know that you have legitimately started a thing. And you are starting a website for crabble boarding, which is crabbing off of a paddle board in the Puget Sound, which I have some questions, because I have crabbed in a boat before where we went all the way the fuck out. But I just think it's because there weren't crabs where we were. And so, we went all the way the fuck out. We put the most rancid, nastiest chicken we could find in these crab pots, and we dropped them like 100 feet down. The rope was 100 feet, and then you place your little buoy, and then it chills, and it's like sacred ground. Like, you don't fuck with other people's crab pots. Like, you'll get stabbed over that shit.
Well, especially in the Hood Canal.
Oh yeah,
that's this area. Like, there might be some fuckery going on off of Seattle, you don't know. But out in various areas, you're like, okay, I gotta just... And you have to even respect the buoy as you go by and go, oh, hello,
yeah.
I'm not going to get too close to you. I'm going to make sure...
slow down so it doesn't, like, yeet the trap at all. But, so do you set your trap and then just paddleboard away and then come back like a couple hours later? Like, what's your process when you're Crabble boarding? And then I promise we'll talk more about music shit.
Yeah, music. I mean, we could talk all day about music, and I'm sure everybody gets weekly music content. But
Yeah,
have
come
you
on.
ever on your show talked about Crabble boarding? I doubt it.
Yeah,
I
this is
highly
a
doubt
live Crabble boarding experience, so fucking dig the fuck in. Here we go.
Dig in, get ready, get your credit card ready, and pull up the Outdoor Emporium website because we're about to fucking get in here.
Yeah.
So what we do is, first of all, when I was growing up, we also used rancid, disgusting, old ass chicken, turkey legs, anything meat related. And then not only that, but they would soak it in this like crab and shrimp bait that it was so disgusting
Yeah,
that
it's
if you
gnarly.
your skin would smell like it for a week. And then on top of that, they would pop a can of ocean fish Friskies and throw it
Yes.
for good measure.
I've done that too. Or
So
expired canned fish.
yeah, exactly. So when we first started this mission and this process of learning how, what would be good, we were doing that, and it was absolutely disgusting. But now we've figured out, at least in our region and for the crabs we're trying to catch, we like fresh meat better. We have better luck when we put a piece of turkey leg or something in there. It doesn't smell like shit, so that was a big step for us.
They like nice food. Okay, shit.
This is an enjoyable hobby that we can enjoy without having to get like cat food
Rancid.
blasted all over us. Yeah.
Damn.
So that was good. But what we do is we take our crab pot out there. That's what you call it. It's like a little cage that has a door that they can open up to crawl in, but then
they can't get out.
The fuckers can't get out. So we paddle out. It depends on where you're at, but it can be anywhere from 40 feet to like 75 feet deep. We drop it. And usually that's not too far offshore.
Yeah.
So that's good. You drop it. We throw our anchor out. And then typically it's Gwen and I. We're drinking some hot toddies. We're lounging in the sun.
We're getting fucked up.
You're looking at your buoy and you're like, damn, buoy, it looks so good out there. You're taking pictures of your buoy with the mountains in the background and stuff like that. And then about an hour later, you pull it, and then we usually drop it again. So we'll go out for like 2 hours, do 2 pulls. Usually you get a couple crab at least.
And you're pulling out the actual keepers, huh?
Yeah, we pulled
damn.
many a keeper out. So it sounds really hard, but it's not. It's very easy. So that's why we're trying to, and you can do it off of the beach in West Seattle.
I know, yeah.
You have 2 hours and do it, other places. It just depends on what areas are open what days. And so great hobby for COVID. Because not only do you not have to go to the grocery store, you've gotten some exercise, which is hard sometimes, and you're out in nature. So you're like,
some fresh air.
Shit.
It's good for the soul. All right, I'm with it.
When you mix that with music and venue work once it comes back, I hope so. We'll see.
You could just start having crab dip at the Crocodile when they open up. Shaina's crab dip.
Yeah. I feel like should we still do shows and music? Do we just go crabble boarding, all of us, until the end of time together and just feast off the land? I don't know.
I'll go. I'm saying right now, I would love to go crabble boarding with you.
We would love to have you, and also anyone who would like to go. We're trying to just make it accessible and fun for people. Yes, Crabble Board Club.
I might be crab-acking because I don't have a paddle board, but I can fuck around and get a kayak.
That works.
So it'd be crab-acking.
You could honestly, we have an extra paddle. If you found a very buoyant log, it could get you out there. That's what we're trying to portray.
Fool, if you get some floaties, you can go crabbing.
Get some water wings. let's go, you know?
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Every time I've gone, I've just pulled up little baby dick crabs. No, nothing to write home about.
That's because you're putting the smelliest shit ever in the sea. Like,
smelliest.
This.
And only the babies are like, what's that?
Yeah, no, that's why. And you know, my family played me like that too. They set me up, think that was the way, but.
All right, and you're just using fresh chicken legs, turkey legs. You're dropping some filet mignon in there.
Yeah, it's like a fresh poultry exchange. You slip a chicken breast into the sea and then you pull out a crab. That's basically what you do.
Have you tried putting a whole chicken down there?
No, but that's
maybe catching all the crabs.
Like I'm getting some bad graphic ideas of me like sending a chicken to Davy Jones' locker down there.
Oh,
I feel like that would be generally frowned upon, but I'll try. I'll give anything a shot.
Shaina helped me purchase a fishing pole yesterday. Fishing master, all genres. Can I just hang out and not crab? Feed them the nice chicken. Is presumably the crab's last meal. That's fair.
That's fair.
I just didn't know that the nice chicken, you know, if the nice chicken was the milkshake, I didn't know that it brought the boys to the yard. I thought that you needed to have the stanky chicken to bring the boys to the yard. And the boys are the crabs. I want them in the cage. I want to take them home and I want to eat them.
Well, and it depends on which boys you want in your yard, because we all know that everyone has a milkshake preference. And if you're putting cat food down there, you're getting those cat food ones. And we all know kind of boys that drink cat food milkshakes.
Not tight. Okay, we want the dignified ones. And we will have a discussion of a scientific discussion before they meet their demise.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess you don't want those ones that are eating out the dumpster. You want to wine and dine these crabs.
Yeah, you want them to have a little French mustache when you pull them up, being like
chocolate blue. Why am I here? That's my
exactly.
French crab impersonation.
That was very good. I believe it sounded very Little Mermaid. I liked that. By the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm gunning for, is like Sebastian.
It was
the crab version of Sebastian. Be our guest. Although that's not Sebastian. Sebastian was like Jamaican. And also, Be Our Guest is a completely different movie. So you can go ahead and fuck me sideways and throw me in the stanky cage, because I don't know what's going on right now. Throw me in the cat food cage.
You were saying all of these references. I could feel myself drifting away into like, oh no, I know nothing about these movies. I think I've had so much whiskey that I no longer remember Disney movies, but...
Yeah, I fucked that up. But that's okay. I'm used to that by now. My life is like that.
Your kid's gonna get you right back into it.
Oh, I'm so ready for that shit. We watched an animation movie last night, and I was like, I can't wait till I like don't have to feel like an asshole for watching these. And it's like I can and I can just talk about it for hours afterwards with my kid. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that is exciting.
And I don't have and Colin could probably attest for this, I don't have much of a threshold for quality. I'm pretty much down for whatever I'm in. Like I can watch the really, really good stuff, and I am super happy watching the really, really bad stuff as well. So
I also feel that way, and I'm a little more gentle with myself and just saying that I'm easily entertained. And I think that is in every facet of life, probably. So, yeah, but sometimes trash is good, you know? You don't want to have to think too hard all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes, especially when I'm on tour, I have crushed all the shitty shit I watch on tour because I don't want to. I literally want to shut my brain off and I want to time travel to whatever the next spot is. And those kind of shows are the best. Queen Gampo says, "Oh my God, Greaves, check out Soul on Disney Plus. You'll love it." I loved it. I checked it out. I don't think that movie is for kids. I don't like. I mean,
but every
not that it's not
Pixar
wrong for them. It's just
like
a bit advanced, subject matter wise.
every Pixar movie ever is a bit advanced. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Up.
Oh fuck! I saw Up in the theaters with Type and his wife. So they sat on the end, and then I was on the inside of that, and the whole row next to me was just a bunch of teenage, like high school girls, and I was crying like my whole family died. Just like an unhinged, just full expulsion of emotion, crying in the movie theater. And they had each other to be like, woo, and like fucking cuddle up on, and all these fucking kids are just looking at me as I'm like brought to my knees by the first 10 minutes of that fucking movie. Jesus Christ.
We called my friend Lolo and I, when we lived together, call that freezer crying, because when you're sitting with your homies or you're sitting with your like boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, and you start to feel like I'm going to have a full-blown emotional breakdown right now because of the content of this movie, you say, I just got to grab a glass of water really quick. But what you do is you open the door to the freezer and you put your arms in it and just sob uncontrollably, therefore freezer crying.
Well, I was in a public place and didn't have anywhere to hide my emotional outburst, but that's okay because
at the concession stand at the movie theater.
Just be like, do you have any watermelon Sour Patch Kids?
Can I get a Sprite? Oh God! Yeah,
it was. I'll never forget that. But like, if you think about Soul, it's a movie about jazz and reincarnation. Like that's like a whole bunch of fucking crazy shit that is just like, I mean, jazz alone, you just have a kids movie about jazz, it's gonna go over their fucking heads. But I really did like it. I saw a lot of people talking shit about it, and I was like, it's a fucking like a Pixar movie.
Those people are dicks. The people that talk shit about a fucking children's cartoon movie are dicks. Like, if it's not made for you, first of all. So if you didn't enjoy it, then no loss.
Yeah, dog, this isn't Schindler's List, okay? This is the fucking Minions 2 movie. Can we fucking get a break here?
So don't go upon your platform and talk shit about a movie that was made by Pixar, please. We've got more important shit to talk about.
This is low blows. Easy picking. Some people just need to be right in their convictions. This movie is for children.
I saw a bunch of shit. People were like, the plot line for Godzilla versus fucking whatever was unbelievable. It was just an unbelievable plot line, and I just couldn't follow it. And
super unrealistic. Had higher expectations. Do better, Godzilla.
It's King Kong versus Godzilla. Perhaps if you're looking for a serious scripted movie, you should look elsewhere. I don't know.
I'll tell you what I fucking need from that world. I need a full-fledged Hollywood high-budget blockbuster film about Godzuki. All right? I don't need that little ass cartoon appearance. I want Godzilla's little BB coming out. I want a whole ass Godzuki trilogy. And I want it to be cute.
Super cute.
God bless Godzuki. If there's any super rich people out there that produce movies, consider this And this is a free piece of advice. I think if you did this, I won't come after you, any sort of finder's fees or anything like that. You keep this, you just make 3 moderately okay Godzuki movies, and I will be so happy. And Godzuki. Yes.
What
That's
if
all he gets. It's bullshit.
Pixar gets it up? Pixar gets it. Godzuki is with Godzilla. They're having the best time ever. They're so, they're having a great life. Godzilla dies. And Godzuki, so that's how it would go if it was a Pixar movie.
Godzuki's like, did you kill my mama?
He's got to collect himself and find himself in order to move forward with his life, and that would be cute as fuck.
Yeah, like he gets roommates, and like he goes through an artist phase for a little bit, and he's like busking in fucking New York.
In New York?
Yeah, he's like cha cha cha. I'm assuming he's still like tiny Godzilla at this point, but I don't know.
I don't know either, because it would be pretty tight if there was a busking Godzuki that was just in the...
I know what I'm doing if I ever fucking need to hit the streets. I'm getting my Godzuki costume, and I'm dressing my child in it and making him go get that money.
Oh, man. Love it. I think that's a great idea.
Should we talk music?
Let's talk about music.
To
Let's
a degree.
Let's go.
I think it's so let's start out by talking about what you do specifically. You work for the Crocodile, but do you work for the Crocodile specifically? Are you back? Are you back now? Where are you at?
I'm full blown back at the Crocodile, and I'm very, very glad to be there because I started out first of all, if people don't know, why would they know? But I am a production manager at the Crocodile. Now moving into more of a production head kind of role there and management role. But I started out as a production manager at Nectar Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
So you started small, and I've worked in venues all over the city. I've done, bigger event stuff and all sorts of things of that nature, but in the production world. So I am a call-in, you could say, a less tired call-in because
You're the venue's call-in
in town. Yeah. I get to work with the call-ins of the world to make sure when an artist shows up in your city that they are taken care of and they're comfortable and that, you can feel at home and all of that stuff. And you control the technical side of things and kind of the flow of the night and making sure they know where to go before they get there and all of that good stuff. So it's a very behind the scenes situation. And so right now the Crocodile is moving into a new location. Your folks probably heard that last week.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going from the single venue space that was about a 500 capacity into a full-blown entertainment complex now.
Disney World.
It's the Disney World of music, and it is going to be just insane. It's 3 floors, 30,000 square feet. It's 3 different venue spaces. It's a hotel. It's multiple bars. So we're really excited about that because there's not a lot in the city there's nothing in the city that is like that.
There's nothing in the state. There's nothing in a lot of the states with something like that. And I feel like I can comfortably say that because I've fucking been to all of them at this point and been to multiple venues within those and know of many others just from dealing with, the same business. That kind of the atmosphere that you guys are creating is extremely rare. And kind of the wet dream for the touring artists, like just kind of the one-stop emporium of everything. Like ultimately, if they wanted to, they didn't have to leave. Like they could get their meals, they could have their hotel room, and they could play their show maybe even catch a fucking movie all in the same place.
Exactly.
That's
And the Crocodile has always been about creating a comfortable space for artists. I think, and for fans as well. We want everyone to just have a great time. So being able to provide such a dynamic space and diverse space and getting artists a fucking pillow to put their little heads on, will be a really awesome thing to be able to provide to people, because road life is hard.
Sucks.
Do I have to tell you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It sucks.
That's one thing we always have going for us as production managers of the house, is that shit's hard all across the industry, but at the end of the night, I get to go home and lay my head on my own pillow, whether that's at 5 a.m. or 2 a.m. or whatever. The tour guys, you either put your head on a hotel pillow for 6 hours, in a van, cross the Canadian border, try to frisk all the marijuana off your drummer or whatever.
Yeah, start shaking out all the flight cases.
Exactly. And or it's a hard road to travel. So we're looking forward to being able to make a space for people to just take a night off.
Yeah. And to
just
plan
worry
for it, like I can see myself. It'll take at least one cycle for you guys to hit this point, but like I know when I look at the tour routing and I'm familiar with certain places, whether it be the Crocodile or a similar place I would say is Club Congress in Tucson. It's kind of that all encompassing. It's only one venue. It's much smaller, but the hotel is built into it. There's a restaurant there that's actually quite nice, and there's a couple bars in there, and it's like you don't have to go anywhere. And I always look forward to going there. Or if it's like venues like First Ave or the Crocodile, where that you're gonna know the people working there, and you could like even maybe plan to like go out with them. But like you were saying, that sense of comfort, because it's hard and you don't have your creature comforts when you're on the road. You don't have your familiarity, so you kind of got to build those things. But you guys are building this compound, so I could see myself being excited when I saw that pop up on the routing, or telling my agent like, yo, make sure you holler at the Crocodile and try to like move shit around so we can get there, because I want to make sure that I play there, because it's almost like a day off, even though I don't have one, because I don't have to go anywhere. Like the idea that you can park the bus or the van at the venue, you have a hotel room, there's a venue there, or there's a restaurant there, or multiple around. You could sleep until you played, stagger downstairs, go play your show, and go straight back to sleep, like if you wanted to. Or you could just like, if you had friends in the area, you could call them and have them like meet you at the hotel. You could like set up a thing. You could have a home cooked meal. You could do all sorts of shit and never like have to really leave your area. And I honestly think you guys are going to own as like top tier venue, even though you might not have the capacity as for the people that are across the street. I still think people will choose a higher ticket price and like 200 less people to have this all-encompassing thing. Or you might even fuck around and have, let's say people are playing the Showbox, but they're going to be like, hey, can we get that bus parking out front and 2 hotel rooms? Like you still might be people are going to be tapping into those comforts, because honestly, you can't park a bus downtown Seattle fucking anywhere.
No, you cannot. And the other thing is, if you're, our thought as well with the hotel and everything else, as much of a pain in the ass as it could potentially be, is that every artist that's coming into town, they only have a certain amount of energy in their lives, right? So every bit of energy that you can give back to them when it comes to making sure the show is good, not having to travel from fucking SeaTac, from the airport to the venue, because that's the only place you could get a hotel under $300 or something.
We're always out at the fucking airport.
Yeah. every bit of that energy, you just take that back, and that artist can give it to their fans. So all the folks that you have watching you that are going to meet you at shows, instead of you being so fucking exhausted because you rolled up and you had to go through all of this stuff to get yourself to a place and then do a show. I mean, we think that artist and fan interaction and experience can be better too, because people will have more energy to be able to give into that fan situation. And you might be, as a fan, staying in the hotel upstairs. So you leave your kids at home, you come to a show, you have that experience where you can safely be there, and you know you can just have a good time and not worry about it. And that's what it's all about. So we have a team that's been in there every day. Got my guy Charlie and Olas, who have been there just helping with demo and helping us push it through. Their music industry folks too. And then Adam, who's our general manager and managing partner, he's been there. And it's kind of been the four of us on boots on the ground trying to get it prepped. You know, and we're super excited because everybody knows, I mean, everybody's here as well on this channel because we're all just looking for an ability to connect with each other. So we're really looking forward to being able to get back to that place.
Yeah.
Where you can connect effortlessly, because, you know, a show is the easiest place to make those connections. You don't have to talk. You just have to watch, experience, take it in. Yeah. And, you know, you throw your $40 on a hoodie, get the fuck out.
Hey, it's $50 now. Price went up, motherfuckers. All right, 2020 was hard.
I've seen them for 80, so that sounds like a bargain to me.
I went on tour with Watsky, and he was selling shirts for 25 and hoodies for 50, and he's like, "You got to, you know, you got a price match." And I was like, "Okay, fuck, I'm not gonna sell anything." Whoo, boy, was I wrong! Holy shit! I was still holding on to 2002 prices. Inflation is real, and I was apparently ignoring it for a very long time, and that was great.
You're thinking just getting a blank hoodie in Nordstrom's rack or something for $40. You gotta put some. If
I get a blank for 40, I'm like, whoa! I'm getting a deal.
Exactly.
The money machine go brr. Hey, man. Sorry, dog. What can I say? I'm like Scrooge McDuck when I get off tour. All right, I fill up a kiddie pool full of like $190, and I go to the bank. I get it all in pennies, and I fucking get one of those little aerobic trampolines, and I fucking swan dive into it. And you know, what I choose to do with my money is my business.
If he wants to wear a top hat in the cellar while he's doing it, then
spit coins out of my mouth.
Yeah.
That's on me. Speaking of hoodies, we are having, for all of you great people, if you go into our Discord, we're having a buy one get one free hoodie sale right now, which I don't give a fuck who you are. That's a fucking deal. I just happen to have too many hoodies, and I want my basement back. So we're doing buy one get one free hoodies because we made about 1 million of them when we went on tour, and then tour got canceled, and we sold about 0 of them. So we've been coming up with different, you know, ways to get rid of these fucking hoodies, and we haven't come up with a better one other than buy one, you get a whole ass other hoodie for free. Any fucking size. You could buy an extra large and get an extra small for your kid. Whatever you want. Or you could get an extra small for your top and an extra large for double extra large for your bottom, and you could wear it like pants. And you could zip it up, and you could put your legs through the arm things if you're not very tall, and then you can fucking, I don't know. You can figure it out. I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure you could wear it as a full bodysuit. Anyways.
Called fashion, so yes, you could.
Yeah.
And, you know, merchandise is the best way you can possibly support all of your artist friends right now. I mean, I personally have 3 hats that I love. I love my hats that I got from Greaves this year. says we are all fucked on 2 of them. And then I got a greater than hat.
Oh.
And I love wearing them around. And, you know, that if you're trying to help your homie out that is a musician, buy some fucking merch, because that is 100% to them. After the cost.
I love you. And she's right. That is a direct source to most artists. Most of the time, that money skips the label and goes to the artist. If they looked at their contract at all before they signed it. So maybe not, but most of the time that is a direct line to the artist to affect their overhead. So that's a great way to do that. Voodoo Child says, I'm going to pick one up now. I wore out my last sweatshirt. Well, guess what? You're not picking one up. You're picking fucking 2 up. So I don't know if your neighbor needs one or if your dog needs one, but you're getting 2. You buy one, you get one free. That's the fucking deal. You get 2 hoodies. So that's what that
Father's
is.
Day is coming up. Get one for your daddy, you know, whoever that may be in your life.
Whoever.
And then you can say, hey, I got you this hoodie for Father's Day. I just also got myself one, but it was just a coincidence.
I thought it would be cool if we matched on Father's Day.
Yeah. You got your own shit, and they don't know you got it for free. They don't know.
No. And you didn't. Technically, let's just say you bought both for half off.
It's a good workaround.
That's the way my bank account's looking at it. Do you just do a few giveaways for your viewers? I am doing a giveaway right now. If you subscribe to the channel, you fuck around and win a pair of Astro A10 headphones if you enter into the raffle. And I do this every Wednesday. And that giveaway is way better than a fucking hoodie. It's the gift that keeps giving. All right, you can listen to this stream on those headphones. You can listen to my music on those headphones. You can listen to Pornhub on those headphones. And since they are very dynamically sound, you're gonna hear every inch of flesh that's flapping around. You're gonna hear all the liquid, all things that are picked up with the microphone. You're gonna have coming through. I'm wearing a pair right now, so
I will be using mine to go to church.
There you go. Not much different.
You just said while we were on this call about Pornhub and liquids.
Now I gotta pray. I wanted to bring something up, and we've talked about everything but pretty much music, which is fine because we have talked so much about live music on this stream. But one reason why I think you're super important for people to kind of have interaction with is you. I attribute so much of my early parts to you because you worked for the machine in Seattle at the time, pretty much. Like, you were part of the thing that you needed if you wanted to be on in Seattle, but you weren't a tastemaker over there. You know, you weren't deciding who got to do what or anything. You were pretty much just like an intern. You know, you're taking tickets at Nectar and just doing whatever you could to get your foot in the door. But you had the same kind of vision, I guess, that I had, where there's more things than just Seattle, and you were working for, I'm hoping there's some hip hop heads in here. If not, then I'm super happy you're here. But you were working for Def Jux at the time as just kind of like a promotions person. And this was back when those people were actually important to the music business, because this was kind of pre-internet pop-off. And you were street team, more or less, for Def Jux. And that got you kind of contact with a lot of the bigger artists like LP and, in my personal experience with you, Mr. Liff. And I was working on my first record, and you had started bringing Mr. Liff around the studio a lot, and that is how I came up with Irreversible, the title track for the record, with an idol of mine at the time. And it was the first time that I ever met anybody in that realm that I wasn't just entirely intimidated by. You know, like the way that I met him through you just felt so natural. Like everything was so good. And then the way that the music wasn't rushed, and like, you know, he was constantly coming through the studio, and then like, and I wasn't like, what about this song? What about this song? It was just like, he heard something and he's like, yo, let me catch that. And like 2 days later, he had, you know, his verse for that song, and, you know, one of my more popular songs to this date. And really just rocket fuel in my tank at that time. That was such a kick in the ass that I needed to push me so much farther.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I was on the street team for Def Jux. I also did a small stint of street team for Rhymesayers back in the day. But Def Jux was a little longer, and I just happened to be on the street team, which, if anybody, there is no street team anymore, right? There's like social media folks that help out with that, and you're kind of promoting.
Or your publicist.
Back in the day, you're like, I'm going to take all of these posters to all the record stores around town. I'm going to take these stickers and put it up everywhere. I'm just going to do what I can to help this artist get a little bit of acknowledgement in the city. Or, you know, when small labels, you just don't have a ton of money for extravagant ad campaigns that are going to reach people. So you really rely on your folks that are your boots on the ground to be able to help you promote those shows, and you pass out stickers at other like shows and things like that. Yeah. So that's how I met Lith after he released Momega, and he was really interested in potentially moving to Seattle, so he's spending a lot of time here. I felt like you guys were the best mix to get him. After you release an album, I mean, I feel like there's so much energy that goes into that, right? So you get into this place where you're kind of just like, whew, I want to look elsewhere to get a little inspiration from other people for a while. So it was just such a perfect, I feel like I went to the studio with you and him one time, just introduced you guys, and you immediately hit it off, and then you were working on stuff, and he was there.
Yeah, he was there with Peter, like working on a record.
Yeah, and just an amazing person, you know. You couldn't have. Tight. He was like the perfect introduction, because he's just such a genuine human and wonderful, talented artist. But you guys both, and I mean, I think you gave him inspiration, and he showed you that your shit was good, right? He's like, yeah, you're not. This is the level where you could very easily take it wherever you want in your career. We already knew that. I just don't think I think you knew it, but you were kind of like, oh, maybe I'm just kind of a local guy. I'm gonna look for a gig on the side, wait tables.
Shit, so that was
a boost.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I knew that I wasn't going to crown up in Seattle, you know, like I knew that I had to take it elsewhere, but at the same time I didn't really know if I should, and like all was good and well with what was going on, and it was fun, but you know, it's like maybe it's maybe it's time to think about like a bigger picture here. And then really once that record came out, it just everything just started happening, and it was like either lean in or get out, you know. And so I just leaned all the way in. It was a bunch of hard years at the beginning for sure. But yeah, it worked out, and maybe it was just luck, you know, maybe it was being in the right place at the right time. Maybe it was talent. Maybe it's all of those things combined.
Well, I think in those times, it was a really small community in Seattle of people that were doing things. And to be honest, before I got on the street team, I didn't even know the job that I currently do right now was actually a job. You know, you just think, There's no way you could do that, so you just start jumping in wherever you can. Pass out posters, help your homie, like box up some merch if they have a fucking buy one get one sale and their shit is flying off the shelves. Whatever you got to do to help your friends or to just be a part of that community, you do it. I figured out that I loved doing that full time. So that also led to me being able to get into music as a career, which has obviously been huge. That was a late start for me. I was like in my, I say late, a lot earlier than it is right now, but it was a late start than some people get because I was in my mid to late 20s when I decided to like real fully commit and go into that. And I would just,
right,
anyone who is sitting around going, man, I wish I could do that for a career. You fucking can.
Yeah.
You really can. If you've ever been yelled at by some fucking bitch ass customer in your customer service job and you haven't strangled them or slapped them or told your boss you fucking quit and walked out, if you can keep your shit together on a level that just allows you to move through those situations, then you would be perfect in this industry if you would like to do it. So
you're saying I think that you're going to get yelled at if you're in the music industry?
Yes. No,
I'm out. I'm quitting. That's it. I'm done. I did not sign up for this.
Yelling at me, but it's stressful and everybody's stressed. And so I guess that's what I'm saying. If you can handle a stressful situation where you can keep your shit together, then you can do it. People aren't going to be yelling at you, but it's a lot of anxiety because the show has to happen and it has to hit at this time and it has to be flawless and it has to be executed properly or else,
And that's your job, is making it seem like this thing just happens effortlessly. That's the production job is when you're like, I didn't even know that was a job, because it's like, oh, these guys just show up and everything works. The machine just works. No, that's fucking Shaina, the puppet master behind, like, knocking on your green room door and kicking all the groupies out and fucking fanning the smoke out of the way so she can see if you're actually fucking in there, to be like, yo, you're 5 minutes late to your stage time. It takes so much organization.
There.
So much organization.
It does, and there's a lot of people in the back end. There's, like we said earlier, call in your tour manager, and your manager would be communicating with me. And there's so many people, and then the sound guy and the lighting guy and video. There's just so much goes into it. And as the production manager, your job is to keep everything on time and to make sure that all those people are keeping their shit together, because everybody has days. Even if you're the best, you have days. And, you go through so that the artist can get up there and give the fans their best without having to think about any bullshit that's happening in the back end, because you have enough to think about when you're performing. So,
yeah, I will say that a poorly run show is one of the biggest stressors for me when I'm on tour. And I don't consider myself a diva in any shape or form, but I do not like it when people can't do their job at that level. If I know I'm signing up for a shit show, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a shit show. That fucking sucked. I'm never gonna do that again. But it was worth a lot of money, so we did that. But if it's like, if you show up to a spot and it's all attitude and no work, which is relatively common. Like, I do say quite a bit of the time you show up and there's some bad attitudes, there's some kind of entitlement from venue staff, which is kind of bizarre. Maybe because they're expecting you to give it to them, But that's always been our thing, is to be like, just show up like you work there, and not in like the entitled way, but like, what can I do to help to make this go smoothly? And just kind of like, a lot of the time people are like, wait, what the fuck? Like, we're wrapping cables the right way, we're helping put shit away. We show up with our own shit. We don't need your mic stands, we don't need your cables, we just drop shit for you to plug into your thing. Like, we've had sound guys before just go, what? And then, why the fuck did I come here 2 hours early? And it's like, oh, because we sound check like all motherfucker.
And I've heard my sound guys just after be like, those guys were so nice, and it makes a big difference for people in their days. It really can be one fucking guy, though. If you roll up and there's a security dude outside smoking a cig, going like, fuck you, Greaves. You're playing here tonight?
Yeah.
Well, loading's not for another 23 minutes and gives you a hard time. I mean, so we try real hard to make sure that everybody gets their shit together, because it's a lot more difficult to be a dick to people than to just have a good time and all work together. And yeah, it's not very common. And that's part of the reason that I got into this in the first place, is that I felt, especially in the realm of hip hop or independent hip hop, whatever you want to call it at the time, a lot of the artists were coming into town and visiting. I was on the street team, so I was seeing their interactions with the venue staff, and I was also working for a promoter. So I was working shows in various venues. And everyone was such a fucking dick to anyone that was doing any kind of hip hop.
Yeah.
And it was the whole staff would go, oh, great, it's a hip hop.
That's still a thing. You get the sound guy, the old crusty sound guy that thinks you're showing up with like a turntable and a microphone, and he's like, well, someone said this is a hip hop show. I don't know why the fuck you have all this shit. And it's like, did you get our tech rider? I don't fucking, did you send it? It's like, motherfucker.
Yeah, it was such trash to see how, if this was a fucking indie rock show, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. And you would be nice, and you would be giving,
giving
tell
me about your band.
Yeah, exactly. So that was part of it. Just every artist, no matter their genre or whatever their background is, deserves to have
100%
good time. When they show up and they have all their shit ready to go and they've worked so hard to make it happen, there's no reason that the person you're going to work with should have a shitty attitude. And again, going back to all of the fans get such a better experience. That's front to back. When you walk in and the door guy's not a dick and the bartender's not a dick, you're just in a better mood to enjoy the show. You're gonna, have more fun, come back the next time, and it rolls all the way through. So it's really important, and it's bullshit, honestly, that the industry has been able to get away with being dicks to each other for so fucking long.
It's at this point, it's like almost expected. But yes, Alistair, don't be a dick. I did that thing for Melly, the sound off thing or whatever it was, and that was like my bullet point number one. Is just like, look, I don't know why I need to say this, but like, honestly, anybody looking to do what I do, and it's full of kids and shit, and it's like, if I had to tell you one thing that you just hold tried and true, it's don't be a dick. You aren't shit. Like, you could be as accomplished as you are, but if you show up with a bad attitude, no one's going to help you. And if you don't get any help, then your show doesn't go well. Then you had a shitty show. And that affects everybody. That affects you, that affects the venue, that affects the fans. And like, ultimately, both of us are working for that, right? Because the venue needs fans to want to go to that venue because that is where good shows happen. Enable for good shows to happen, you need, good production, good door guys, good bartenders, just good everyone, good hotel staff. Now that's something you need to think about. And
don't start going down that rabbit hole with me on a fucking Wednesday.
It's a fucking, it's a whole goddamn thing. And if the artist is acting like an asshole, it makes that job way harder, and it makes it way easier for the artist to blame it on the fucking venue.
You know what? For the venue, I have to say, in all of my times doing production in various venues and doing whatever, I would say 3% of the time, it's the artist being a dick. Artists, if they're being a dick, they just don't want to talk to the staff. And that's fine because they're in their own world. Many times it's either someone on the crew, someone in the entourage,
but let's be real, that's part of the artist. If you as the artist are not controlling the people that you have on your payroll, like I've always said to like the people that like I have, nobody says like, oh, Greaves is fucking guitar tech or whatever. It's just those guys are dicks. One person to make my name bad. So like if you aren't protecting your own integrity, like it's on you. It's on you.
If your fucking cousin comes to the show as your guest, is a dick to everybody around, flashing that all access.
You're a dick. Yeah.
You're a fucking dick. And it's the same if you're in a venue. If your fucking box office guy is a dick to everybody's
Crocodile's a dick. Yeah.
Crocodile's a fucking dick. And so you got to keep it tight all the way through. Yeah. And because because don't be a dick. Yeah, that's exactly comments. Correct.
I kind of follow like a corporate policy in that idea that like you represent the greater whole when you're part of this, because it is true. Because first of all, we're such a small operation. Second of all, not a lot of people know what the fuck it is we do and how we do it. So it's not like they're going to go and educate themselves on it to figure out, oh, it was this one guy that worked for him and this is what he does and he works for this company. So maybe like, no, it's fuck me. It's cancel me. It's be done with this. Like, it's never going to fall on that person. Like if someone that works for me is poorly behaved in a venue, I'm not getting booked again. And if I'm like, no, I fired him, they'll just be like, nah, like you hire people like that. So we don't fuck with you. Like my opportunity is gone now.
It's very true. And I think that on both sides, again, that's so true on both sides.
Straight up.
So,
I'm not going back to a venue if I've had ignorantly, I'm not going back to a venue if I've had bad experiences. And even if it's been 10 years and there's a full fucking, employee change, like I'm still not going back because I'm already hitting the door of that place with like a bad idea of what it's going to be like. And
exactly. And I think your team is very tight and venues teams are very tight, and we can all support each other through our shitty fucking days where you might not be able to have a conversation with someone and go, hey, tonight work back here, or tonight I'll pick up this portion of what you're doing so that you don't have to go through this forward-facing emotional place because you're tapped.
Yeah.
That's really important too. And that's something you guys do really well. You guys are good at tapping each other because nobody can be fucking perfect all the time. We all know that.
No, and let somebody else have their it's like if Colin's in a bad mood, then I could step up. If I'm in a bad mood, then Colin can just be like, yo, go to the fucking hotel, or like, go do this. If our guitar player or if Pants is in a bad mood, or sound guy, lighting, like if someone's not doing good, we can pull them aside and be like, yo, come on, man, like a little off the handle right now and need to dial it back in because you're fucking this up for us. And it's like,
nobody wants to be that guy. So little conversations like that go a long way, and the respectful conversations go a long way in those situations.
Hey,
so
apologies go a long way in those situations too. If you're like, look, we've been driving for 9 hours. I'm fucking hungry. I'm like, I'm just not really stoked on tonight, and I'm sorry, and that's not your fault, and my bad. Like
Yeah.
that, those should be made as embarrassing and emasculating as it is, or whatever. Like it goes a long way to the person that you may have that could torch you from ever coming back to that venue. You have no idea. Like if you say some shit to, like, if I fucking disrespected Hefe, right? I'm on the touring party, but I have no idea, right? She's just the fucking bartender, right? Like she's just, some fucking, like, she was talking shit, so I talked shit back. She didn't like it, fucking blah. I'm
Then
never playing the Crocodile again, and I might fuck around and not play any of the associated venues again, because you fuck with family, you get the horns.
I mean, and you might, but if you're making special requests, which is usually what happens, it's a conversation. That is why my job exists. So I can go to Colin and be like, yo, Hughes was a huge dick to Hefe. Hefe in turn stabbed him. Now he's bleeding, first of all. She can stand up for herself. But, we ought to take it and let it roll off. And yes, when you go through those situations, it's so important to own your shit. Just own your fucking shit. Don't be a dick. Own it. That's it. That's all I take away. But yeah, I mean, anyone who has that ability to not be an asshole, own their fucking shit, and then also can live off of like a mediocre salary could work in the music industry. I think it's very easy. You just, if there's any takeaways from tonight,
I hope you like getting paid in fulfillment, mediocre fulfillment.
Yeah, do you love whiskey?
And live music. If you like whiskey and live music, you're gonna be a pig in shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing, it gives back, and that's why I didn't work inside of a venue for a long time. I went into the special event world and was working larger scale things, which I thought for me at the time when I left the Crocodile was going to be fulfilling. Like, I can't do this forever. I got to move up. You got to you got to climb the ladder.
Yep.
But not having the interaction with people coming off of the road every day and not having the energy of the show and the fans. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but especially Adam and I, our GM, were talking about it the other day. When everybody's able to come back to shows, because we're not there in Seattle yet. Nobody's open. Nobody's doing live music. When folks are going to come back in, it's going to be like an out-of-body experience. There's going to be people crying on the dance floor and all of these things, watching.
I'm not going to know what to do with myself. I'm going to need to rehearse for like 9 months straight.
Yeah, and you're not going to take that shit for granted anymore. I mean, you might know after like 6 months and you've been to 27 shows and you got a hangover, but there's going to be a really special time for everybody to come back. And I'm really excited to be back in it this time specifically so that I can experience that, because I think, that's why I got into music in the first place. It's what it's all about, is having those experiences. So,
yeah. Well,
good time.
I'm fucking ready for it. I'm like, it's been so long that I'm like actually kind of worried about it, just because this is the longest I've ever taken away from music, live music, because I've been making music during this time, and I have a project coming out next month that I believe next week we're actually going to announce, so you're kind of hearing that here first. But it's we've started getting like little hits here and there, like from our agent, like being like, hey, they're like doing this outdoor thing here, little gigs popping up here and there, and it's just like, fuck, like I don't even remember what my set list was for the last tour, and it's fucking like I guess it's a great time to reinvent myself in that realm, because I got so caught up in what I was doing, and I really liked it, and I fell into kind of that, like, oh shit, these songs consecutively really work, and I like this energy, I'm gonna keep this going. But now I wouldn't even know what that is if you made me like assemble it. I guess I could just open the computer and be like, I guess that was my set list.
I can send it to you if you want, because Colin emailed it to me with set times and all the things, of course, because he's an angel. But yeah, I hear you. I think it's going to be such an experience that is such a special shared place for fan and artist, because as an artist, I mean, you guys live off of being in front of people and being able to perform and give that energy. And I can't imagine how it's been just sitting home in your, thank God you have a platform where you have fans you can connect with here to have conversations with people and still mix it up and interact. There's a lot of people who don't have their shit together enough to do that, or are local artists that just don't have the platform, that haven't been able to have conversations with their fans. And I think it's gonna be a real outpouring of energy once people can get back together.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. And I don't want to make any predictions, like in the previous streams, like I just don't want to talk about like when we could have live music again, because that could all just go tits up, Yeah,
especially for us here. I mean, other parts of the country are a little more lax, but we are on our motherfucking shit here. We're like, you know what? If your fucking uncle is in danger, we're probably not going to go to 100% over here. And I appreciate that personally. I know a lot of people have different perspectives on that, but last thing I would want is for a fan to come into a place and to get sick or to die because they came to a show at an establishment I was running. So
yeah, fuck that shit.
We're in that place. It's additional, it's a little extra challenge for all of us, because we're probably going to be, at least on this West Coast, the last folks to really fully reopen on the full rollout. So, but we'll be patient, and again, I just think it'll be all the more special once it actually happens.
Agreed. And fucking thank you. Like, thank you for respect, because like we're all broke, right? Like we all lost our fucking livelihood last year. We're all super eager to get back to it. We all really need to get back to it. We all are in the same fucking boat in that regard. And there's a lot of people that are kind of rushing that and kind of like pushing forward and being like, nah, fuck it. We could do shows. We should do some shows. And that, to me, is just like when I see that shit happening, I see artists like already like playing shows in the US, like doing like mini tours right now. And that makes my job harder. That makes the idea of what we're trying to do here harder. Like, we're all trying to get back to this at a normal pace, right? So you jumping ahead and doing this shit is making it so we potentially have to take a step backwards before we can take another step forward. So it's it sucks.
Yeah, it's fucked up to navigate. And again, I can't put myself in the perspective of other people, but try to make those decisions. I understand, like you said, everybody's fucking broke. And that may be a decision you're forced to make because of the situation that you're in. I understand that, and I'm just glad that we are going to be able to wait until we all feel like nothing's going to be normal for a while. Until everything is at a respectable level of normal. And for us, it's a great time to be rebuilding right now, because we're fucking distracted. We got our minds on a project. We're still being able to be creative with each other and figure out new ideas to make it work within the space. So that's been great as well. But You know, it'll be really special once it all fucking pops off.
Yeah. And I mean, that's for everybody too. You know, like everybody in the chat and everybody like watching or listening to this afterwards. And, you know, these are discussions about the music business and primarily, you know, what we can look forward to. Like, this has been a fucking bummer for fucking everybody. And it's people like Shaina that I feel like you should keep an eye on. When Shayna's announcing shows, then you know it's fucking real. When, you know, Scurvy McFuckboy down the street is like, I got six rappers coming to my house tomorrow. Don't go to that. You're gonna get COVID. Don't go there. When the world starts opening up, it's gonna be the places like the Crocodile and shit that I feel like you can be safe at. And ultimately, that is the test here. Like, when this shit opens up again, I want to feel safe. Like, as a touring musician, I want to feel safe. When I go to venues across the country, I don't know what this looks like anymore moving forward. Like, I'm probably wearing a mask regardless, you know? Like, also, I just had a whole year where I didn't get sick at all. At all! And normally, I am getting sick all the fucking time.
Especially on tour, or if you're working in, or like all the people that are with us that are working retail or you know, work in the grocery store or working at restaurants, like you're just getting fucking dusted with people's viruses all the time. So yeah, I love the mask thing, and
I'm wearing my mask.
Everyone looks better like this, you know, like
I like it. Personally, brings a sense of confidence to me that I didn't think that I needed. Like, when I roll up in the spot, I'm just like, let's have some hard conversations, because you can't, like, what do you want? Like,
exactly.
Yeah, I enjoy the mask.
How doctors could maintain their confidence through all of those surgeries. You're like, I could perform a surgery, I think, as long
I'm
as
ready. I'm a surgeon now.
That I'm like, ooh, oh, you know, you don't know.
I'm doing free circumcisions. Anybody in the chat looking for, you know, a cheap hack job, I got you. I got the mask. I got, you know, Gerber knife. I'm ready to go.
You should throw that in with a hoodie bundle. To be honest.
Now, you don't get buy one, get one free if you're getting the circumcision deal. You get a hoodie with a free circumcision, or you pay for the circumcision, you get a free hoodie. It's kind of, it doesn't matter to me. You can word it however you want. But that's how it's working over here. So
I think that sounds like an excellent deal. Personally.
For an extra 10, I'll sign it. That's also true. Yeah, I'll sign your order.
Wow.
And in that scenario, I will get the discarded foreskin and the shaft of the remaining, if I left any intact enough to sign it, I'll do it. That being said, I've never signed a dick. And that...
Well, you have never, of all people.
I came really close one time because I was on tour with K-Flay and we were in Atlanta, and you know, some girls like, sign my tits, which, to be fair, never made any sense to me. I don't understand the sign my tits phenomena. I'd rather sign something that you can take home with you. I mean, you take your titties home with you and shit like that. I get that, but like, but it washes off if you wash your titties. But I you know, I obliged, you know, a little top titty action, and she was like, so like, would you sign a dick? And I'm like, yeah, I would. I was like, I'm not going to walk around the venue being like, dicks for signing. Like, I'm not going to advertise it, but if someone's like, you know, to make things fair, if someone's like, all right, word, will you sign my dick?
It's only fair.
I mean, I don't touch the titties when I sign them. I'm not like, yeah, let me go. Oh, yeah. And like, I'm not holding a titty. I'm holding the back of the pen. I'm standing back and I'm arching in. Bad for my posture. And then I'm, you know, I'm signing the titty like that. Now, if you put the dick on the table and you stretch it out so it's, writable, because I can't just like write on your mangled hog. Like, you need to provide a space for me.
Yeah.
And size doesn't matter. I got chisel tips. I got fine tips. I got all the. We can get this shit popping on. So as long as I don't have to touch it, and you just put it on maybe not our table but someone else's table, or if you can like hold it out in a way where like
bring a cocktail napkin from the bar and just
a little bar towel down and just I guess I'm down. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not like super into it, but just as I'm not super into signing boobs, I probably would get the same enjoyment, and since it's a brand new thing, I'd probably like it more.
I mean, and I think anyone who's listening probably will ask you if they have a dick to sign it from here on out. But
it's
it
a bold
would be
move.
a memorable experience. I've never seen anyone. I'm trying to think.
I've never seen it.
I don't believe I've ever seen anyone get their dick signed at the merch table. But I also like. I don't know.
Tongues, eyelids, passports. Birth certificates. I've done all sorts of shit. Yeah, all sorts of shit, but I've never signed a dick.
Oh, those are legal documents. Like, are you?
Yes,
what if you read this shit, or could I just present you with a legal
disclaimer? I was like, I shouldn't be doing this.
Here on this marriage license, and now you've got a wife in Tennessee.
Yo, that's fucked up. What if someone's like, hey, just sign this right here? It's a joke marriage license. I'm just going to do it for my homies, to say that we're like, haha, we're married. Damn. No, I also haven't accidentally gotten married. Although I believe signing a dick does the same thing.
That's legally binding in at least 3 states, I would think. And also illegal in those same states. So
here's the deal. We love it and we hate it. We don't really know what to do, so we're just going to let it slide.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, I don't know how we got to that point, but there's a little thing about me and live shows, in case anyone was wondering. Never signed a dick. Never done it. Not opposed. Till dick do his parts.
What else is a never for you? Let me think. There's been some experiences, like, for example, when Prof played at the Croc. A fan tied his whole ass shoelaces together.
Oh, but that was fucked up.
On stage. That was super fucked up. So have you ever been fucked with by a fan on that level where you're like, we don't have it. We're not like this. Our relationship isn't like this.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have been fucked with.
I mean, I have. I've also done that shit to myself. I had a pair of Supras that hooked together. They had like bootlaces on them, and the bootlaces hooked together at the House of Blues. And I fucked myself up. I just fucking face planted on the decking. It was pretty shitty. But I only had myself to blame for that one. I've had people grab my leg and try to pull me into the crowd. I've on fucking countless amounts of time had people try to grab my dick, which is super fucking like hard to concentrate.
Yeah, that seems rude, to be honest.
Getting people on stage, weird. Like, you just turn around and there's like someone standing there like, hey, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is happening? And Pants was back there like, I don't know. And you just see Colin charging through the crowd to get to him.
Oh yeah. Every show that happens, you gotta have your security. That's a conversation as a production person you have with every tour. You say, if somebody jumps on stage, how would you like us to handle it? Do you want our security guy to fly across the stage at full force and blast them in a headlock off to the wing? Or will your guy handle it? how do you kind of like, hey guy, no, get out of here, scooch them off without anybody knowing? That's a good conversation to have with people before they get
for
on stage.
me, it depends on the song.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like doing like a fuck it, I'm having fun song, and someone's like, fuck it, I'm having fun, you're like, all right, fuck it, let's have some fun, and then you just like casually like escort them away in a fun way, and they're like, that was awesome. But then like if you're doing like a, you know, my mom died song, and you turn around, there's someone like raging behind you, yeah, you're getting punched. Like I don't really know what to do at that point. It's like an emotional reaction.
It's just like everything in life. See yourself out, sir. You know, if you're gonna jump up on stage for a party song, stay there for 20 seconds, party, 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 get the fuck off the stage. You don't stand there for multiple things. You know, there's etiquette. Stage diving is called stage diving because you jump on the stage, you fucking jump off. Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, it's not called stage hanging out and being awkward.
There's no one that's like, I'm a professional stage lurker. I lurk at every show I go to. I'm lurking on the stage.
Dude, I feel like I have like after years of watching it happen, it's like they just never thought they would get on the stage, which is why people freeze, right? So they get up there and they don't know what to do because they're like, wait, shit, I didn't actually think I would be here. And so they're like processing it, and then they're also looking down at this crowd of people that are also looking at them being like, what's up now, motherfucker? Like, what's the plan? And they're like, oh, shit, I don't know. And that's why you always see them getting tackled by some big-ass security guard like they didn't even know they were there. And it's like a rhino charging from the side of the stage. It's like, come on, man. Also, like, the funniest thing in the world.
All those Disney movies where they show the scene at the talent show where you're like killing it in rehearsals, but then you get on stage and you freeze. What are you going to do? Either just jump off the front, or you stay and lurk around and be that a-hole, but you're not winning the talent contest if you stay. We know that. That's the only difference.
You go over to the drummer and you're like, yeah. And they're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, we've seen it all. We've seen it all happen.
I like to just think that they got so into it that they couldn't control. Oh, my camera just died.
I can still see you.
No, they can't. They can just see some really cool colors now, which is pretty cool. It looks very professional, but there should be like a beeping sound.
A great opportunity for me to pull up my Greaves hand puppet. Just checking.
I guess that means that's the end of the stream. I guess that's my camera saying, go fuck yourself.
I mean, we made it pretty close to the end there.
We made it 51 minutes past the end. Yeah.
I thought we were an hour early, and now I thought we were an hour.
No, we went all the way over. Shaina, thank you for the conversation. It's always so good to talk to you. Chat, thanks for coming through. It looks like we only got one motherfucker this time, and that's pretty good odds. We're only doing one son of a bitch this time. But thanks for the love. Thanks for keeping it positive in here. That's what this is all about. And once again, this is educational. This isn't, I'm not doing these for like to sit and answer the same damn questions over and over, about how I got into hip hop or, what's slug like or shit like that. This is, for people that are big fans of music or people that are trying to actually get in the industry themselves or artists, to gain a little bit of perspective on what it is that we deal with on a daily basis and how we feel about those things. Because ultimately, how you feel about those things and how you react to those things are kind of how people are going to gauge you in the music business, whether it's the live venue or, the table in the record office where you're signing a contract or your fans in general. So, it is what it is. But thanks for coming through and listening and checking these shits out on Wednesday. Remember, on Monday, we are making cocktails. Also not doing rap shit. So if you want rap shit, check me out. Go to Spotify, go to Apple Music, go to Tidal, go to fucking Napster, wherever you go. I'm there. All the rap shit. It's happening. But thanks for coming through. Shaina, before we get out of here, we're going to end this giveaway so people can win some headphones real quick. And then you picked a song. We have a playlist every week. And every time I bring someone on the show, I ask them to pick a song for the playlist because it's one less song that we need to pick for the playlist. And it's nice to hear what other people are listening to because, to be honest, our own taste gets a bit redundant. So what did you pick and why?
I picked the newest song by Jarv D, who's a local Seattle guy. And I picked it because I can't stop listening to it. Sometimes I find it on repeat and I'm like, how long have I been listening to this fucking song? It's amazing. So I highly recommend that you listen to his new song. If you're trying to walk around town, it's a great walking around town song.
All right. Well, I'm going to fucking bump those. I'm going to bump that. Plus Jarv D, local dudes. I like just back-to-back local dudes. I'm all for it. Looks like Kimber245 won the headphones again.
Ooh. Again?
And
nice.
I would
work.
and she's saying, because these are the kind of people that we got in here, she goes, I would like to gift my headphones to Tammy Jean.
That is so lovely.
And then goes, congrats, Tammy. Look at the camaraderie in this motherfucker.
I told you I got gifted a subscription last week. Your people are good ass humans out there, just making sure others are taken care of. So tight.
Wow. Well, Kimber, you're the shit. I feel like you want a hoodie?
You get a free hoodie with that.
Yo, Kimber, that's wonderful. Tammy, congratulations. Enjoy the fucking headphones. They're great, and I hope you can use them when you're tuning into the streams in the future. For everybody else, Wednesday, we're always giving away a pair of headphones thanks to our sponsors, Astro. Monday, we are doing cocktails. So, it started because we couldn't go to the bar. I missed having cocktails with my friends. So I got my friend who happens to be amazing at making cocktails to teach us how to make some fucking cocktails. And now we're really I could be a bartender.
Well, good, because we're going to need you.
I could do that. So check us out twice a week right here on Twitch. Make sure you hit the socials for all the other stuff, Instagram, Facebook, all that other shit. All right. Love. Shaina, thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah.
Twitch, we'll catch y'all on Monday. And I believe we'll catch you next Wednesday as well. And next week, we have some announcements for you guys. The wait for new music is over. So hold on to your butts. Here shit comes. All right. Peace.